Our final speaker on the proposition side of the House is Rhiannon Shaw. Rhiannon is a character comedian and comedy writer from Wolverhampton. She graduated from Jesus College in 2018 with a degree in English. She has been described by Chortle as a cunning comic mind, and she will be performing in character. And I would like to welcome to the stage, in Proposition's motion, Dr. Paul Smenas.
Hello, my name is Dr. Paul Smenas. I'm a part-time lecturer at the University of Rhode Island, specializing in animals that no one else bothers with. Do not be fooled by my womanly curves. I am a cis man in his flirty 50s. Though I look full-breasted, this is just an unfortunate consequence of spending too much time in the lab. My doctor calls it a reverse hunchback. I was invited here to the Canterbury Trade Union to deliver a speech about footlongs. I was wooed with the promise of an all-expense-paid plane ticket brackets one way to London Stansted Airport and a free pen. So that's where your hard-earned union fees are going. I am no expert on the subject in question. I think perhaps I was only hired tonight because the union officials misread my faculty page, which is easily done because the font is only size 9. And it's in wingdings. But I decided I would try my best to answer your question before giving a speech on my own area of research. You've got to get bang for your buck, as my wife says when she goes for her weekly massage. You ask me, have the footlongs ruined British condiments? I find the question vague and in poor taste. For one thing, the composition of a footlong can vary wildly from year to year, depending on the availability of delicious gristle. For another, what kind of condiments are we talking? Dijon mustard, American mustard, whole grain? And I have to question, can a footlong ruin a condiment? What came first, the chicken or the egg? The husband or his wife's open relationship? This lecture is about worms, or as the Anglo-Saxons called them, worms. I had wanted to do a lecture about slugs, but by the time I remembered, I had already made my PowerPoint presentation. Unfortunately, I left my laptop at my wife's house when I went to pick up my kids for their weekend visitation. They didn't want to come with me, and neither did my laptop. You may be wondering when my wife got her own house. Is she a snail? She hates that joke, like she hates when I call it an open relationship. She prefers to call it its Latin name, a divorce. Worms are known to survive even when their bodies are chopped in half. I have some experience of this phenomenon, because I myself was born a conjoined twin. My brother, the movie star Denzel Washington, doesn't care about worms. Not anymore. People think the dew on the grass is the result of condensation. It's actually worms' tears. What have you got to cry about worms? Your wife didn't leave you for Jerry. Sorry, Jerry, I'll get back to the lecture. Your dry cleaning is in my car. Worms have been around as long as other important animals such as mayflies and sea cucumbers. They live in the ground and feed off waste products and the corpses of their fellow worms. I like to say it's a worm-eat-worm world. But enough jollity. Tonight is a special and exclusive Valentine's Day treat. I have brought you an excerpt from my blog, A Tiny Smenas in a Big Wormhole. Try not to get too rowdy. Dear Diary. No water. Today I went on my first vacation since we mutually decided that my wife was going to leave me. I wanted to go to Australia, but the last time I took a flight longer than 2 hours, I got scurvy. So instead, I went to see where they filmed my favorite movie, Over the Hedge, brackets 2006. It was the movie that my wife and I first made love to. Now whenever I see a raccoon, I get a sad boner. I took a bus to the animation lot where they made the movie, but when I got there, I found out that the studio was now a bar for ladies who like ladies. Parched from my long journey, I tried to go in there for a glass of milk, but a woman with a nose ring chased me out into the street and called me a worm. If only she knew. I walked for a while before finding a hedge to lay down in. Though my favorite movie is Over the Hedge, I was very much under the hedge. I made my bed of leaves and twigs and pawed at the ground in the hope of finding a new specimen to take home and show to my children. Things are very confusing at home now that my kids have Jerry's name. I'm a feminism, so I won't question her logic, but I sometimes wonder why my wife decided to call them all Jerry in the first place. Oh, diary. Why couldn't our open relationship be good and normal like all the other ones I see around campus? Dr. Egelmeyer's husband never gets jealous, but then again, he is dead. There are ants crawling on my back, diary. It's the first human contact I've had in 3 years, and it's not even human. They feel like the way I imagine my wife's fingers would feel if they were ants. They're not really my area, but I respect their humble work ethic and their ability to have legs. They are biting me now. I should really get going because I have a tenure track application due in 40 years that I need to get started on. There's a Facebook post that incorrectly identifies a North Sudanese slug as a South Sudanese one, so that will take me a couple of hours to get over. I wish everyone was as kind as you, diary. Thank you very much. I've been Dr. Paul Sminas.